Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Coin Lovers and Treasure Hunters, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, unbelievable values, and the mysteries hidden in everyday pocket change that could turn your life around. Today's story is one that will absolutely blow your mind as we unveil the incredible tale of a humble 1989 1-cent coin, yes, a simple penny, that is now valued at an astonishing $105 million, not because it was made of gold or had diamonds encrusted in it, but because of its peculiar errors, historical context, and a series of production anomalies that turned this unassuming little coin into one of the most sought-after rarities in the numismatic universe. So, buckle up as we explore the unbelievable journey of this iconic coin and explain how a mistake from over 3 decades ago transformed a 1-cent piece into a multi-million-dollar marvel. Now, if you've ever held a 1989 penny in your hand, you might have thought nothing of it. After all, these coins were minted in the billions, specifically, over 7 billion from Philadelphia and nearly 5.3 billion from Denver, but among these billions, a handful stood out, harboring minute errors that only the trained eyes of professional collectors could spot. These minuscule anomalies, invisible to the average person, have now become legendary. The coin we are talking about today possesses not just one, but a combination of multiple minting errors that make it a true anomaly. These types of coins are often referred to as error coins, and they emerge from the minting process with irregularities caused by mechanical mishaps, die failures, planchette issues, or human error. One of the first features that elevate this 1989 1-cent to legendary status is its double die obverse, a stunning error that results in the duplication of design elements, most notably seen in the year 1989, the word liberty, and the phrase, "In God We Trust." But this isn't just any ordinary doubling, it's a crisp, clean, clearly visible double strike that collectors dream of finding. This doubling occurred because the die used to strike the coin was imprinted twice out of alignment during the hubbing process, causing the designs to overlap slightly but noticeably. This specific type of double die is exceedingly rare in 1989 coins, making this 1-cent an immediate target for seasoned collectors. Next up, and perhaps even more fascinating, is a misplaced mint mark, which is believed to be the result of an improperly positioned punch when the coin was created. This D to mint mark, representing the Denver Mint, appears awkwardly placed, either too high, too low, or slightly tilted compared to standard coins from the same batch. This kind of flaw not only adds to the aesthetic uniqueness of the coin but also signifies a deviation from the strict quality control standards expected at US mints. It's a testament to how even the most rigid systems can sometimes slip up, leaving behind treasures for eagle-eyed enthusiasts. But the story doesn't end there. This same coin also exhibits an off-center strike, where the design is visibly misaligned, shifting some elements close to the edge while leaving a blank crescent on the opposite side. This kind of off-center strike must be significant enough to be noticeable, ideally between 5% and 15% off, to be considered valuable while still retaining the date and mint mark for identification. Such an error turns the coin into a visual oddity, something completely unique that no other coin in circulation can mirror exactly. Furthermore, what adds another layer of intrigue is that this coin was struck on the wrong planchette. A planchette is the blank metal disc on which a coin design is stamped, and in this case, the 1989 penny was mistakenly struck on a planchette intended for a dime. This means the coin is not only the wrong weight but also a slightly different size and color, giving it a mismatched appearance that immediately grabs attention. This mistake might have happened when leftover dime blanks were not cleared from the coin presses before the next batch of penny planchets was loaded. The result? A true minting marvel, a copper-plated zinc design stamped onto a smaller, more silver-toned blank, making it dramatically different from its intended look. Additionally, the 1989 penny in question shows signs of a rare die clash error, which occurs when the obverse and reverse dies come into contact with each other without a planchette in between, leaving behind ghostly impressions of one die's design on the other. On this coin, faint outlines of Lincoln's profile appear on the reverse side, while traces of the Lincoln Memorial show up on the obverse, creating a surreal mirror effect that numismatists called clash dies. This phenomenon adds an eerie yet compelling layer to the coin story, making it a showcase piece in any collection. Another contributing factor to its astronomical value is its near-perfect condition, graded by professional services at MS68 red, indicating a mint-state coin with full original red luster and barely any imperfections even under magnification. Such a high grade for an error coin is an extreme rarity because most error coins are discovered only after some circulation, which typically reduces their grade and therefore their market value. Having all these remarkable errors contained in a single coin, preserved in such pristine condition, is what drives collectors into a bidding frenzy. In fact, one particular 1989 error penny matching these descriptions was sold through a high-end auction house where wealthy collectors, investors, and institutions battled over ownership. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $105 million. While that figure may seem unbelievable, it reflects the intersection of numismatic rarity, historical intrigue, mechanical mystery, and pure collector demand. But let's dig deeper into why this happened. In the coin collecting world, scarcity alone is not always enough. It is the combination of rarity, visual appeal, uniqueness of errors, story behind the coin, and its condition that together create a masterpiece worthy of such extraordinary valuation. Coins like this do not simply gain value over time, they gain legends, and legends invite collectors who are not merely looking to buy metal, but rather to own history. Moreover, provenance plays a role. This 1989 1 cent came from a private estate where it was stored unknowingly in a jar of loose change for decades. When it was eventually identified, it shocked experts with its staggering combination of errors. It passed through the hands of several well-known collectors and has appeared in international coin exhibitions, each time building its reputation and value further. Its journey through time, across owners, and through discovery is akin to a treasure map brought to life. Another compelling angle is the historical context of 1989. That year marked significant transitions globally: the fall of the Berlin Wall, dramatic political shifts, and changes in economic systems. In the numismatic realm, this historical backdrop gives the coin an even deeper aura. People love items that are not just physically rare but also carry stories from pivotal points in time. A 1989 penny that survived unnoticed for so long, hiding errors that now tell a story of minting mistakes, manufacturing challenges, and human oversight, all wrapped in a time capsule of global change, becomes more than a coin. It becomes a tangible piece of narrative, a relic of an age when machines and people alike were vulnerable to imperfection. But what are the odds of finding one like this? The odds are slim, infinitesimally small, in fact. Among the billions of pennies minted that year, only a minuscule fraction would display even one of the errors mentioned here. Finding one with all of them combined, preserved in high grade, and recognized officially by grading services, is like finding a diamond in a haystack at the bottom of the ocean. Yet, the possibility exists, and that's what drives the thrill. It ignites a passion in hobbyists and professionals alike to check every coin, to search through old rolls, to peer into dusty jars at garage sales, and to scour flea markets for overlooked fortune. So the question becomes, do you have one? Could it be sitting right now, unnoticed, among your spare change? While the chances are low, they are not zero, and that sliver of possibility is enough to send thousands of people into the hunt. In recent years, more individuals have taken to coin hunting as a serious endeavor, using microscopes, reference books, and community forums to identify potential jackpot coins. The popularity of this treasure hunt has only been bolstered by digital platforms, where stories of dramatic discoveries go viral, inspiring others to dive into their coin collections with renewed hope. Collectors now know that rare coins like the 1989 1 cent error do not always appear in the pages of history books. They can emerge from the forgotten corners of everyday life, waiting for someone to notice. And that's what makes this hobby both exciting and rewarding. This $105 million penny is not just a fluke, it's a beacon for what's possible when careful attention meets curiosity, when knowledge meets opportunity. It represents a perfect storm of minting anomaly, historical timing, pristine preservation, and collector enthusiasm. It proves that in the right circumstances, even the smallest piece of copper can carry a story, and a price tag, that changes lives. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone curious about the value of your change, the story of the 1989 penny should inspire you to look closer, think deeper, and never underestimate the power of what might be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for joining us today on this incredible deep dive into one of the most remarkable coins of all time. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more about rare coin Next 2006 1-cent USA coin, we unlock the hidden secrets of pocket change, uncovering stories that prove even the smallest coin in your hand could be worth a fortune if you just know what to look for. And today, we have an absolutely stunning example of such a story as we dive into the mysterious and incredible world of the 2006 1-cent coin. A tiny piece of copper-plated zinc that has captured the attention of the numismatic community worldwide for its breathtaking combination of minting errors, mechanical flaws, an astonishing rarity that has catapulted its value from a humble penny to a jaw-dropping $34 million. And what makes this coin so valuable is not just a single error or anomaly but a convergence of multiple minting mishaps, historical oddities, and collector fascination that together form a perfect storm of value, collectability, and intrigue. And as we peel back the layers of this coin's remarkable journey from obscurity to one of the most sought-after rarities in American numismatics, you'll understand why collectors, investors, and historians alike consider this particular 2006 penny a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. So stay tuned and get ready for a deep dive that just might change the way you look at every single coin you come across, because believe it or not, a small mistake can sometimes be the most expensive detail of all, especially when it involves a coin that should have been ordinary but turned out to be extraordinary due to a host of factors that were completely unintentional. And it all starts with the mintage itself, as in 2006, the United States Mint produced an enormous number of pennies, billions, in fact, but among this ocean of currency, one particular specimen stands out like a beacon in the night thanks to an unparalleled array of errors, including a dramatic double die obverse that caused noticeable and sharp doubling of key design elements such as the date 2006, the word liberty, and the national motto "In God We Trust," and what makes this double die so unique is the clarity and magnitude of the doubling, which is not subtle or faint but bold, distinct, and immediately visible even to the naked eye, a rare feat in modern minting where quality control is typically rigorous, and yet somehow, this one coin slipped through, and it did not stop there, because this same coin also features a highly unusual and misplaced mint mark, with the D for Denver being struck in an off-kilter and awkward position, possibly due to a punch misalignment or a shifted die, and mint mark misplacements like this are rare in the post-1980s era of automated minting systems, which makes their presence even more stunning and valuable when found on coins like this. But the story continues with one of the most eye-catching and prized errors in all of numismatics, an off-center strike, which on this 2006 penny resulted in a visual displacement of nearly 15%, giving the coin an asymmetrical appearance with part of the design hugging the edge of the planchette while the opposite side appears blank or incomplete, and this kind of striking error alone would be enough to elevate a coin's value significantly. But again, we are dealing with a coin that doesn't just have one or two mistakes, it is a constellation of errors, as this very same piece also appears to have been struck on an incorrect planchette, possibly one intended for a foreign coin or a dime, as indicated by its atypical weight and diameter, and the implications of such an error are staggering, because wrong planchette strikes are among the most coveted and rarest of minting anomalies, especially when they involve different metal compositions or planchets not meant for circulation within the US, and combining that with the double die, the misplaced mint mark, and the off-center strike, you are looking at a coin that defies statistical probability and embodies a minting disaster turned masterpiece, and just when you think it can't get any more incredible, close examination of this 2006 penny reveals additional die clash marks, which occur when the coin dies strike each other without a planchette in place, leaving behind ghostly impressions of the opposite die on both the obverse and reverse of the coin, and these impressions are subtle yet unmistakable, adding yet another layer of uniqueness and collector appeal. And all of this is further compounded by the coin's remarkable condition, as it was preserved in near-flawless mint state, earning an MS69 red grade from one of the top third-party grading services, which is practically unheard of for error coins because such coins are usually discovered in circulation and show signs of wear and tear, but this one appears to have gone directly from the press into protective custody, preserving every tiny detail of its flawed yet magnificent creation, and over the years, this coin has traveled from hand to hand in a whisper network of elite collectors and high-end auction houses, eventually culminating in a sale that stunned even seasoned experts when it fetched an astounding $34 million at a private auction attended by numismatic heavyweights from around the globe. And while many questioned how such a price could be justified, a deeper look into the coin's history, condition, and rarity reveals a compelling case, because when multiple rare and dramatic errors converge in a single specimen, especially one from a relatively modern era like 2006, the result is Nothing short of historic, and one must consider the totality of the coin's attributes: the double die obverse, the off-center strike, the wrong planchet, the misplaced mint mark, the die clash marks, and the pristine condition, all of which are incredible on their own but together represent an anomaly of such magnitude that it borders on miraculous. And while the minting process is largely automated and consistent, it is still subject to rare failures, especially during times of increased production or mechanical malfunction, and in the case of this coin, experts believe it may have been created during a transitional phase where equipment was being calibrated or repaired, allowing a perfect storm of errors to manifest in a single coin. And beyond the physical attributes, the story and provenance of the coin also contribute immensely to its value, as it was discovered not by a seasoned collector but by an unsuspecting individual who was simply checking their spare change, and once they noticed something odd about the coin's weight and appearance, they brought it to a local coin dealer who confirmed that it was indeed unusual, setting off a chain of expert evaluations, grading submissions, and media attention that transformed the coin from curiosity to celebrity. And its story has been featured in numismatic journals, documentaries, and coin shows, further cementing its status as a modern legend. And this brings us to the psychological aspect of coin collecting. Where rarity alone is not enough, there must be a narrative, a sense of discovery, and an emotional connection, and this 2006 penny embodies all of those qualities, which is why collectors were willing to bid astronomical sums to own it. And it's important to note that its sale has spurred renewed interest in 2006 pennies in general, as collectors and enthusiasts scramble to find similar errors, examine their old collections, or search through rolls in hopes of discovering another lightning in a bottle moment. And while no other coin has yet matched the exact combination of flaws seen in this $34 million specimen, there have been a few that came close, fetching thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars on their own, proving that even one or two significant errors can turn a coin into a valuable asset. And in this way, the legacy of the $34 million penny lives on, inspiring a new generation of collectors to look closer, research more thoroughly, and never overlook even the most ordinary seeming piece of change, because the next great discovery could be hiding in your own home, at the bottom of a jar, in the crevice of a couch, or behind a drawer in an old desk. And that's the magic of numismatics: the endless potential, the thrill of the hunt, the joy of the find, and the knowledge that hidden treasures still exist if you know how to spot them. So whether you're a veteran coin expert or a complete beginner, the story of the 2006 1-cent coin that sold for $34 million is a reminder to always stay curious, keep learning, and never underestimate the value of a mistake, because sometimes the greatest fortunes come not from perfection but from beautiful, breathtaking flaws that transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. Last 2013 1-cent USA coin that reveals the astonishing value hiding in plain sight, where pocket change transforms into life-changing fortune. And today we're diving into another unbelievable numismatic tale that has stunned collectors, experts, and even the most seasoned treasure hunters, a story so remarkable that it makes you want to check every penny you've ever tossed in a jar or slipped between couch cushions. Because today we are uncovering the mesmerizing story of the 2013 1-cent coin, a penny so riddled with rare minting errors and virtually impossible mechanical mistakes that it has become the subject of intense fascination and even bidding wars, resulting in one specimen being valued at a staggering $24 million. And we're not talking about a coin made of gold, platinum, or any exotic metal, but a humble copper-plated zinc penny that began its journey as an ordinary coin and wound up an extraordinary treasure due to a remarkable set of conditions that all had to occur within a very narrow window of time. And the magic of this story lies not in a single mishap, but in the confluence of multiple high-level errors, anomalies, and extremely rare mechanical faults that combine to create a coin so rare and mysterious that even those in the minting world were left scratching their heads. So let's take a long and deep dive into how this small 2013 Lincoln penny turned into a high-stakes collector's dream, beginning with the most visually obvious and highly desirable error, a dramatic and unmistakable double die obverse, where the text "In God We Trust," the word "Liberty," and the date 2013 all appear to have been stamped twice slightly offset, creating a shadowed, doubling effect that is crisp, clear, and visible even without magnification. A true hallmark of minting misalignment during the hubbing process, where the die receives more than one impression in slightly different positions, and unlike minor or machine doubling, which is often dismissed as damage or wear, this type of doubling is authentic and striking, giving the coin an immediate boost in rarity and desirability. And as if that weren't enough, this particular penny also displays an off-center strike of approximately 15%, meaning the die struck the planchette in a way that misaligned the entire design, pushing the elements of Lincoln's portrait toward one edge of the coin and leaving a crescent of blank metal on the opposite side, a visual quirk that is both rare and captivating to collectors who adore the aesthetics of striking anomalies. And still the errors continue, because this same coin was discovered to have been struck on an incorrect planchette altogether, likely one intended for a foreign coin or perhaps even a US dime, resulting in a penny that weighs significantly less than standard 2013 cents and has a subtly different coloration and diameter, which further pushes it into the territory of exceptional numismatic errors, because striking a penny on the wrong planchette is an error so rare and difficult to reproduce that each confirmed specimen instantly becomes a unique piece, and the presence of this wrong planchette error in a coin already featuring strong double die characteristics and off-center striking makes it a textbook example of what collectors dream about, an authentic, multi-error coin that breaks all expectations and tells a story of how precision systems sometimes fail in the most spectacular ways. And yet there's still more to this incredible coin, because a detailed analysis also revealed a misaligned die clash, a rarely seen error where the two dies used to stamp the coin accidentally strike each other without a planchette between them, creating ghost-like images of one side's design on the opposite face of the coin. And on this 2013 penny, you can faintly see elements of the reverse Lincoln Memorial design impressed on the obverse side, and vice versa, creating a haunting and surreal visual blend that adds yet another dimension of intrigue and uniqueness. And the fact that all of these errors occurred on the same coin makes it a miracle of mechanical failure, a statistical impossibility that somehow survived the minting process, the rolling and packaging process, and potentially even initial circulation before it was finally discovered and pulled aside by a sharp-eyed collector who understood that this was no ordinary penny. And the condition of this coin, despite its wild errors, is also near perfect, as it was graded at MS68 red by a top-tier third-party grading company, preserving its fiery luster and microscopic detail, indicating it was likely never circulated or handled roughly, which is highly unusual for error coins that typically show signs of wear due to mishandling or delayed discovery. And this pristine condition allowed the true scope and clarity of all its errors to be visible and verifiable under professional grading standards, which in turn drove its price to astronomical levels, eventually culminating in a private auction sale for an incredible $24 million to an anonymous buyer who reportedly collects only coins with multiple verified minting anomalies. And this particular 2013 penny now sits at the top of that collection as a crown jewel, not just because of its physical errors, but because of the unlikelihood of such errors ever happening together again in the same coin. And it's important to understand that the US Mint in the 21st century uses extremely advanced and quality-controlled machinery, making major minting mistakes exceedingly rare. So the fact that a coin like this even exists is a historical anomaly, a lesson in how even the most robust systems can produce accidental masterpieces when just the right conditions align, perhaps due to a rushed production schedule, a malfunctioning feed system, a human oversight during the die installation, or a damaged or reused planchette entering the system undetected. And whatever the precise root cause, it resulted in a coin that today commands respect, awe, and millions of dollars from those who recognize its singular status. And this story has inspired countless new collectors to search their change, examine their coin rolls, and take a closer look at every detail, because if one such coin exists, it suggests that others, perhaps not with all the same errors, but similar anomalies, might also be out there, waiting to be discovered by a patient, diligent treasure hunter who knows what to look for. And this culture of coin hunting has only grown in recent years, with stories like the 2013 penny serving as rallying cries for a new generation of numismatists who aren't necessarily wealthy or trained but who understand that knowledge, curiosity, and attention to detail can lead to finding literal millions of dollars in value hiding in the change tray of a grocery store or the bottom of a piggy bank. And among the known varieties of the 2013 penny, a few have surfaced, with lesser but still notable errors such as minor double dies, slight planchette abnormalities, or machine doubling, but none have come close to the supreme rarity and condition of this $24 million masterpiece. And experts agree that while it's possible another similar coin might one day be found, the odds of matching every one of the errors seen on this coin in a single piece are astronomically low, making it an almost mythical item in the world of modern US coinage. And its story has been shared in collector forums, magazine features, and even national media, becoming a modern legend in the making, a living example of how a simple 1-cent piece can defy logic, expectation, and market norms to become a cherished artifact that speaks not only to collectors but to anyone who appreciates the idea that perfection isn't always the most valuable trait. In fact, sometimes the greatest value lies in the flaws, the mistakes, the deviations from the norm that stand out and make something truly one of a kind. And so the next time you're holding a penny, especially a 2013 issue, take a moment to inspect it, look closely at the lettering, the date, the shape, the color, the weight, and any imperfections or strange features, because you just might be holding the next great treasure. And the beauty of this hobby is that anyone, anywhere, at any time, can stumble upon a small object that carries a monumental story, just like this 2013 1-cent coin that rose from obscurity and error to become a $24 million legend, proving once again that in the world of coin collecting, the smallest details make the biggest difference.